It started as a whisper. Zendaya hadn't posted in days. Her fans noticed first. Maybe she's taking a break, some said. She deserves it. But then a week passed, then two, and still nothing. No red carpet appearances, no paparazzi shots, no behind-the-scenes glimpses from upcoming films. It was as if the world's brightest star had simply vanished. Entertainment blogs speculated. Some claimed she was in Italy filming a secret indie movie. Others thought it was a marketing stunt. But those closest to her said they hadn't heard a single word, not even her team. And Zendaya, always in control of her image, wouldn't disappear like that without a reason. Then, on day 22, she returned. TMZ caught her at LAX, sunglasses on, hoodie up. But what turned the internet upside down wasn't just her reappearance. It was the man walking beside her. Not her agent, not her boyfriend, not her assistant. He was older, reserved, watching everything. Within hours, a Reddit user posted a match. The man's face appeared in an old intelligence briefing leaked years ago. His name? Ethan Rowe, former CIA field analyst, specialized in psychological warfare and crisis deprogramming. Why was Zendaya with a man who used to erase people's minds for a living? And most importantly, what had she seen that required erasing? It was a Thursday night in downtown Los Angeles. Zendaya had just left a late-night dinner at Chateau Marmont, wearing a silver trench coat and black leather boots. Cameras flashed as usual. But there was something off. She didn't stop to pose. She didn't smile. Her driver opened the car door, yet she stood there for 3 full seconds, looking over her shoulder into the darkness, as if expecting something or someone. Security footage from that night, later leaked, showed her pausing by the restaurant's back exit. She turned to a man in a dark baseball cap. They exchanged no words, just a single glance. He nodded once, and she walked away. That was the last time Zendaya was seen in public for 21 days. The next morning, her assistant reported that she hadn't returned home. Her phone was off. Her location was deactivated. There was no activity on her credit cards, no messages, no calls. The police were notified quietly. No press, no panic. Only a tight circle of people knew. But what none of them knew was that the man in the baseball cap was not from her inner circle. He hadn't entered the restaurant. He hadn't exited through the front or side doors. And when facial recognition software tried to match him, there was no result. No name, no record. Just a ghost, captured in a single frame. And in that moment, Zendaya had made a decision, one that would alter everything to come. The morning after her disappearance, Zendaya's team moved into damage control. Publicly, they acted like everything was fine. A scheduled tweet about eco-friendly fashion went live. Old photos were reposted. But behind the scenes, her manager was calling every contact, and her assistant was knocking on the doors of friends and family. None of them had answers. None of them had heard her voice. Her mother filed a missing persons report quietly. No headlines, no news alerts. It was a carefully orchestrated silence. But fans were starting to notice. On Reddit, users posted side-by-side screenshots of her latest Instagram story and her last public photo. Why are her eyes puffy? Was she crying? Who's that shadow in the window reflection? 3 days in, the conspiracy theories exploded. A TikTok user claimed she saw Zendaya being escorted out of a private jet hangar in Nevada. A blurry clip circulated. It was unclear if it was her, but the posture, the walk, it looked like Zendaya. And then came the strangest part. Every mention of that video disappeared within hours. Comments deleted, videos taken down, even accounts vanished. It wasn't just a disappearance anymore. It felt like someone was actively erasing her. Back at her apartment, her dog, Noon, had been barking non-stop for 2 nights. He wouldn't go near the front door, and on the 3rd night, neighbors swore they heard a knock at her window from the 6th floor. But when they looked out, nothing, just shadows. On the 12th day of Zendaya's absence, a single photo leaked. It wasn't from paparazzi. It wasn't staged. It looked like a still from a surveillance feed, grainy, colorless, time-stamped. Zendaya was sitting at a table in what appeared to be a plain, windowless room. Fluorescent lights cast harsh shadows across her face. She was alone. No phone, no drink, just staring forward. But the detail that sent the internet into overdrive? A faint scar, barely visible, curving beneath her left ear. She never had that before. Fans flooded social media. Some said it was makeup. Others said it was photoshopped. But facial comparison tools confirmed it was real. That mark hadn't been there before she vanished. 2 days later, another leak. This time, not a photo, but audio. A 5-second clip. Muffled, garbled, but her voice unmistakable. Not safe. I can't. He's watching. Then static. The clip was deleted almost instantly from every platform, but not before thousands had heard it. Theories shifted again. This wasn't a retreat. It wasn't burnout. Zendaya wasn't hiding. She was trapped. People began to look closer at the scar. Some speculated it was surgical. Others claimed it resembled the incision pattern from neural implants used in classified military research. Was she experimented on? Did she witness something she shouldn't have? One thing was certain. Zendaya wasn't just missing. She had become someone's secret. Day 21. Zendaya reappeared. Not through a red carpet event or a well-produced Instagram Live, but through a chaotic phone recording taken at LAX. The footage was shaky. Someone had spotted her being escorted through a restricted terminal exit. She wasn't alone. A tall man in a charcoal suit walked half a step behind her, expressionless. No badge, no identification, but the way the airport staff stood aside made it clear he had authority. Zendaya wore oversized sunglasses and a hoodie drawn tight around her face. But the scar was visible, clearer than ever. As the video spread online, viewers paused and zoomed in on a detail. Her hand clutched a small envelope. One frame revealed just enough of the label. Elena Asset, do not export. Who or what was Elena? Within hours, every major news outlet picked up the story. CNN, TMZ, even BBC. But the narrative wasn't curiosity or concern. It was dismissal. Zendaya returns after brief digital detox. Star avoids questions, sparks mental health rumors, security detail likely personal assistant. But those who had watched closely knew better. That man wasn't a stylist. That scar wasn't cosmetic. And Zendaya, she didn't wave to fans, didn't smile, didn't see anyone. She walked like someone fulfilling orders. She looked like someone who remembered too much. And as she passed through the crowd, her lips moved, barely perceptible. One Reddit user enhanced the audio from the footage and swore she whispered, "Don't trust them." 2 days after the LAX footage exploded online, Zendaya's team broke their silence. An official statement was posted to her verified accounts. Zendaya recently took time off for a personal retreat focused on healing and restoration. She is grateful for the support and looks forward to reconnecting with her fans soon. The internet didn't buy it. Not when the video clearly showed her being shadowed by a man who looked more like a government handler than a wellness coach. Not when the word Elena kept echoing in conspiracy threads. And definitely not when former intel agents began commenting, anonymously, on the possible implications of a civilian tagged as an asset. Then came the Vogue cover story. She appeared radiant, poised, back to her usual self. But the interview? It felt off. She dodged every question about her absence. Her answers were vague, overly rehearsed. And in the final paragraph, she said something that struck a nerve with longtime fans. Sometimes you lose track of who you were, but the trick is remembering who you're expected to be. Not who you are, who you're expected to be. Was this Zendaya speaking? Or someone writing the lines for her? Speculations surged again. Some suggested she'd been replaced. Others thought she had signed a non-disclosure agreement under duress. A few even believed the scar was a control device, something embedded, not just sewn. And those who had seen her in person during those days? They all agreed on one thing. She didn't look afraid. She looked programmed. Explanations. YouTube videos analyzing her body language or timeline were taken down for violating community guidelines. Even the most obscure blogs received takedown requests. It was as if someone was scrubbing the internet. Then came a thread from someone calling themselves Observer X, an alleged former NSA employee. In a 12-post tweet storm, they claimed that Elena wasn't a person. It was a protocol, a high-clearance intelligence operation designed to temporarily remove individuals who had seen or learned something they weren't supposed to. And Zendaya had seen something. Observer X didn't say what, just hinted. A new kind of surveillance tech. A field test gone wrong. A misidentified presence on a film set. He also shared a phrase, containment before contamination. Within hours, the account was deleted. The thread? Gone. But the screenshots had already spread. Zendaya was last seen at a major film premiere. She smiled. She waved. Everything looked normal. But one photo from later that night sparked renewed chaos. She stood frozen, staring into the camera, while the same unknown man lingered behind her. Expressionless. People zoomed in on his arm. There it was. A tattoo. E21. No one could tell if it was fresh, but its meaning was instantly clear to those who had followed the trail. Was it a unit code? A signal? A reminder? No one knows what happened during those 21 days. But the last question, whispered across forums and DMs, was always the same. Did Zendaya really come back? Or just a version of her they let us see? Don't forget to hit the like button if you liked the video and subscribe if you want videos like this to come. See you in the next story.